Hey guys, my name is Paul and I'm with Republicans Overseas Thailand, and I'm here to give you a quick walkthrough on how to vote abroad if you're a United States citizen in the upcoming 2024 general election. Now, this walkthrough is intended for civilians. For military personnel, usually you can consult with your command. There's usually a voting assistance officer who can help you with all this. When I was deployed during the 2004 presidential election, we had a junior officer who was in charge of helping people to vote. But if you're a civilian, or if your military doesn't want to go through your command, you can just go through this website the government has conveniently provided called the FVAP.gov website. And what that'll do, it'll allow you to request a ballot either by email or mail. And then you can fill out the ballot and send it in and make sure your vote counts for the upcoming 2024 general. So before we get started, there's a few things you need to have before you register to vote abroad. So, number one, we're going to need a computer, either a desktop or laptop. So I wouldn't recommend trying to do this on your phone because you have to fill out like PDF forms and stuff. Number two, a printer. Now, you don't need the printer right now. You can save the PDF and print it out later. Because what you're going to have to do is either mail or email that after signing back to the city clerk. A scanner. Now, if you want to email it to the city clerk at your voting residence, you're going to need a scanner because you got to scan your signature. Number four, you're going to need the Adobe Acrobat Reader software. It's pretty easy to get. If you don't have it, just go to getadobe.com/reader. Number five, you're going to need your social security number or a driver's license number. Number six, you're going to need your voting residence, and that is the last residence you lived at before you moved abroad. Usually this will be on this will be the address on your driver's license, basically. So this is, and seven, you're going to need your current residence. So that's your current residence abroad. So we're not going to vote, sign up for one of these if you're going to be back in November for the upcoming election. This is only for people who are going to be abroad during the election. And we're going to request one ballot. We're not going to commit any felonies here. We're just doing one ballot, and it's only if you're going to be abroad during the upcoming election. Okay, so let's get into how to request your ballot. Now, there's some different websites, but the one I recommend is FVAP.gov, just because that's the one the embassies recommend. You may have seen some targeted like Facebook and Instagram ads for like Center for American Democracy, vote abroad. I'm not sure. Those are run by 501c3s. FVAP.gov is the official, way to request your ballot abroad. So that's what we're going to walk through. So basically, I'm going to go to FVAP.gov, and then I'm going to request my ballot now. I'm on Firefox here, but you can use any browser. Should work just fine. Now, it might be a bit slow because this is a government website, unfortunately. So there's a Privacy Act statement. I'm going to click I accept. Okay. And then I'm going to pick my state of voting residence. For me, I'm from Michigan, but request a ballot if from wherever your voting residence is. So I'm going to go Michigan. You can also click on the little states here. That's real nice. It's a real nice feature. And once you select your state, they're going to ask you what jurisdiction. Now, that's basically, for Michigan, that's like the city. So I'm from Ann Arbor. So I'm going to find city of Ann Arbor, okay? It might be your county, depending on the state. Just pick the wherever your voting residence is. And after you select that, they're going to ask you whether you're military, the spouse of a military, if you're a resident living abroad who intends to return to the United States or you don't intend to return. Now, there's one interesting category, the U.S. citizen living outside the country. I've never lived in the United States. I'm not sure how that works for for voting in elections, so maybe consult with the website on that. But I'm going to choose U.S. citizen living outside the country, and I intend to return. Okay. Now, after we click on that, get that out of the way, they're going to ask you some basic information. And what this is going to do is you're going to fill all this information out, and they're going to generate a PDF for you. And we'll see what to do with that PDF. So I'm just going to fill out a fake name here. Don't worry, I'm not committing any felonies. This is just for tutorial purposes only. I'm not actually going to submit this to my city clerk. Okay. Last four digits. We'll say 1, 2, 3, 4. Email. Okay. Now, I recommend providing an email and phone number. That's so your city clerk can contact you, especially if you want them to email your ballot, which is a lot easier than dealing with snail mail. So party, Republican, but you can also choose Democrat, Libertarian, or whatever your party is. Maybe not enlist. Okay. Now, the residence they're going to ask about, this is going to be your voting residence. So this isn't your current residence where you're living abroad. This is where your last U.S. residence was. So I'm going to say, okay, I'm just going to make up an address there in my beautiful hometown of Ann Arbor. All right, now your mailing address, that's where you live abroad. So I'm going to put my Thailand address here. Make sure you put the country and the zip. Okay, so address, city, country, zip. Okay, forwarding address. I'm going to skip that. Okay. Next. All right, and this is how you would like to receive your ballot. So I always prefer it by email. You can also get it by snail mail. And for anyone who's still holding out using a fax machine, you can choose fax even. Now, I don't even know how to use a fax machine, and I'm kind of old. So probably not fax, but either email or mail. I prefer email. All right, we're going to go next here. And they're going to basically ask you a little bit more information, and then what we're trying to get here is this PDF they're going to generate for us on the website. And with that PDF, you can take it and then you print it out, sign it, and then we're going to send it to the city clerk. So one thing they ask for is I always say all elections for which I'm eligible, which is really nice because I get emailed the ballots for city elections, state elections, federal elections, everything. It's much easier. And that way you don't have to go to FVAP.gov every time you want to fill out, you want to vote, basically. You just do it like one time and it's good for a while, right? Okay, so then they're going to ask you to review. All right, we're just going to look over that information real quick. Okay, looks good. And then what we're going to do is we're going to download the PDF package. Download the PDF package. And that's going to download the file. And the file will show up wherever in your browser settings you have the download set to. That can vary for Mac and PC users. Hopefully you can figure that out on your own. And it'll download a standard PDF file. If you need a mailing envelope template, you can download these here. And that way you can print it out on the envelope if you want. Not required, but the FPCA PDF is required. So let's open this up and see what this looks like. All right. Okay. So this is just kind of a summary of the information. It says where to send. So for me, it says mail the absentee ballot to the following address, and it gives it. For me, it's my city clerk. This might be your county clerk. It depends. Really depends on the state and your voting residence. You can also email it. So I prefer email. It's a little easier, and they give you an email address you can email, and you can just email it from your regular email. And also the fax option in case you want to use the fax machine. I don't know how to use a fax machine. You're on your own if you want to do that. So what's really important here is you need to send this page. So what we're going to do is we're going to sign the ballot and date it. Make sure to sign and date. And then we're going to scan it. And then we're going to send that page along with all this information. Now this information, it should all be filled out based on the information you filled out on the website. So just make sure to look that over real quick. All right. And you make sure you have to sign and date this as well. So we're going to send, in our case, 2 pages. This one, which is signed and dated, and this one. So I'm going to print that out, sign and date it, email it to my city clerk or mail it. And then what happens is the city clerk, they're responsible to, they'll either email you the ballot or mail you the ballot, depending on your preferences. And then for the ballot, once you get it, you print it out. You vote for who you want to vote for. That's up to you, as your right as an American. And then you mail it back to the city clerk. Make sure to do it well before the deadlines. We're coming up close here on the general election, so you want to make sure your vote counts. All right, thanks, guys. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop a comment. And hopefully this tutorial has been helpful for you. I'm Paul with Republicans Overseas Thailand.